trying to get everything together, but we got everything together. And as usual, welcome to another episode of Melanated Thought, where we talk about things that affect the black community and beyond. I am Reggio.
And I am Mimi the lady.
And what a lovely lady my lovely wife is.
Bomb chicka wow wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeedy. Oh, man. We got a pretty good show today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. Hopefully, you get a good response out of this show.
Yeah.
It's called We All We Got.
We all we got.
We all we got. Richard Pryor said years and years ago, you go out looking for justice, and that's what you find, just us.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a few cases to talk about when it comes to just that. We were going to do a show last week, but we had something important to do.
Celebrate my bestie's birthday. Hey, Gwendolyn.
Hey, yep.
Good little day out and to have her celebrate her birthday at Lolo's Chicken and Waffles.
That was a good spot.
It was. I haven't had chicken and waffles in a while, but of course I had the fish and the greens. But the chicken and waffles pretty good. I had a taste of yours, so
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
Yeah. It was a pretty good little spot, man. So, if you never heard of Lolo's and if you're in the DF Dub, definitely go there.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely suggest it. I like the food. The chicken was off the chain, especially the second day, man. Yeah. And unfortunately, Pat, I ate your chicken, man.
Oh, Lord. I didn't even do Oh, yeah, Pat, I forgot to tell you, you left your chicken in the back of my car. and Reggie ate it. I didn't have no parts of it.
Yeah, I ate it. I
Very
sure
bad.
did. I'll be the guilty party. I'll be the bad guy in this one. Yeah, I ate
Tell him
it.
he got to pay you for it.
I ain't paying for shit. I'm just kidding. But anyway, yeah. I ate the chicken, man. So, But anyway. How was your 2 weeks, baby?
Work-wise, it's work. But life has been grand, still in the honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
Kudos. Still, I would like to solicit the prayers from the listening audience to keep us prayed up that we will find us a beautiful forever home real soon.
Yeah, because we're out looking, y'all.
Because he's acclimating to my little spot, and it's a little tight in here.
Yeah, man. I mean,
It's
granted,
a little tight in here.
granted, she has a 2-bedroom apartment, and that's a given. And moving from a 2-bedroom, from my little 1-bedroom, which is a little small spot, I got a lot of stuff, y'all. We both do. She's been here at her apartment longer than I've been in mine, and no disrespect to my lovely wife, but she got a lot of stuff, y'all.
I won't. Yes. Yes, I do. 10 years is a long time.
Yeah, 10 years is a long time to be in the spot,
And
man.
I've accumulated a lot of things. That's why I know it's time for, how do I say, if God bless me, I don't think I can go back to another apartment because I'll outgrow it. I've literally outgrown this one.
Of course. I think so. I think we have. We know you have. So, that right there is, that's a given.
If y'all know anybody that's realtor and would like to work with a beautiful couple,
Yes,
first-time
indeed.
home buyers,
Thank you, man.
please give us a call.
Yeah,
Give
by all
our
means.
information, please.
Yeah, give them my information. We'll definitely check them out and see what they got to say about
We
that.
thank you in advance.
Oh yeah, definitely. So let me go and get this music cracking.
But other than that, it was okay. Blessed and highly favored to still be here with so much going on in the world. Really haven't been nowhere because of gas prices. We'll talk about that a little later.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, pretty cool, jazzy little week. I must admit. So how was your week, darling?
You know what? My week was just a couple of weeks, man. That's all I got to say. Because people know what I do. People that know me know what I do. I'm a computer geek. I'm a network nerd. So that's what I do. As my wife wants to call me a nigga nerd.
No, I do not say that. You know how we feel about that word.
I'm just kidding, y'all. Just had to put
Nerd.
that out there. Nerd. Yeah.
No.
But anyway, y'all. It was just a typical week. I can't complain. Just another week, man. Typical week. Nothing really exciting happened. But I can say this. Which since we're talking about weeks, my stepfather had quite a conundrum.
Oh, please. This goes along with the topic of the show today.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say where he works at, but let me just say this: my stepfather was asking a patron of this particular store, could he see his receipt? So he could check out his basket and whatnot. And of course, he refused because he's a white guy. And security was called, armed and unarmed security was called. The man still refused to show his receipt. Managers are called. The man still refused to show his receipt. So the patron called the police. Okay?
He didn't wait for the store to call. He called himself.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. He called the police himself.
Okay.
The police get there, and he told the police to say, hey, I will show you my receipt, but I won't show them my receipt. And we already know why he didn't want to show his receipt, y'all. He didn't want to show his receipt to some black folks. Let's just be real. So anyway, the police told him to show the receipt regardless.
Okay, now, in a situation like that, I would have gave him a citation.
You know what?
Because he's wasting the police officer's good time. He could have been out patrolling something that really needs to be taken care of.
I agree.
Than him throwing a quote unquote Karen episode.
That's exactly what he was doing. That's exactly what he was doing.
That is unacceptable.
I agree.
Very much unacceptable.
Yep.
They should have gave him a citation, a fine, however you want to call it. He should have been reprimanded for that.
I agree with you on that,
and
man.
was told never to come back into the store again.
Yeah, precisely. Because that right there was completely unnecessary. All they had to do was show us a damn receipt and it would have been a done deal.
So in a common man's world,
yeah,
let's flip the switch.
Yeah.
If that was a white, I was going to say the word.
Yeah.
Person.
Yeah.
Asking to see the receipt, how would that have played out? If you just, take a wild guess and think about it.
Let's be honest.
According to the culture we're in now.
Let's be honest. He would have showed his receipt with no problem. You know that.
So what's the difference?
A black man asked for it, and he felt like he shouldn't have to show a black man his receipt.
It's not even a color issue. It's just the person that works. You just should just.
He should have just done it just because.
Done it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, agree.
Unless you had something to hide, unless you were stealing.
Yeah.
What's wrong with showing your receipt?
There should be nothing wrong with you showing your receipt. I mean, he should have just done his thing. I mean,
done it, went on home and got ate your little chips and drink your beer and could have been at home chilling in your recliner.
Exactly. It would have been a done deal after that, but he didn't want to go there.
A ruckus.
Yeah, he didn't want to go there. So it is what it is.
Amazing.
Yep.
Amazing. But here we are
again, talking about this event.
I just don't even know what to say no more. This world is getting it's really getting out of hand. And you don't want to call a race card on it, but what else could you call it?
That's what it was. That's exactly what it was. I mean, you can call excuse me, you can call it what it is. I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. It was all about race. You and me both know that. So,
Well, kudos to
the cop.
Well, no, to the. I'm trying not to say what they are, because if I say, everybody gonna know where you work. To the people that asked to see the receipt.
Right.
They I understand they didn't call a ruckus. They just did their job. Most of them would have went offhand to speak. That's why I'm leading to this next topic that I was thinking about. Boosie and Ryan Coogler at Bank of America.
Save it for current events.
That's what I'm saying. It all ties together. So with things
we'll talk
like
about
that going
later.
together, how do we all we got?
Yeah. Precisely. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. It all ties to the subject. It all ties to the subject. We all we got. Now, let's get back to that. Let's get to my favorite part of the show.
I almost skipped over this. Yeah, the books of the.
Oh yeah,
books of the week.
At least you know what? Dang it, I didn't put the books up.
What?
No, I sure didn't. But I can tell you what the books are. I sure did not put the books up. I could have sworn I did, but I guess I didn't. That's what I forgot to do. But anyway, books every black person should read at least once in a lifetime. I'm sorry I don't have the covers, y'all. That's on me. You can shoot production for that. I did it. First book I want to talk about is the book by H. Rap Brown. It's his autobiography. It's called Die Nigga Die. Basically, it talks about his life. Because for those of you, excuse me, for those of you who don't know, H. Rap Brown is in prison right now for allegedly shooting a cop, which there's no evidence that he did it. But because H. Rap Brown is who he is and what he stood for, he's in prison for it right now. He's a Muslim now. I forgot his Muslim name. So, brother H. Rap, if you're out there listening somewhere, or if you're going to listen in the future, I apologize. I know you have a Muslim name. I mean no disrespect at all. I just don't want to butcher it. So
more or less, he was put in jail because of word of mouth and because of his reputation. Right.
That's
we all we got.
We all we got. So, Die Nigga Die, H. Rap Brown. Get that book if you haven't already gotten it. Second book I got, Seize the Time, by one of my idols, Black Panther co-founder Bobby Seale. Now, for those of you who don't know, again, Bobby Seale was one of the co-founders of the Black Panthers, along with another individual I'm going to mention in a few minutes. And when the Black Panthers were dismantled from the inside out by agents, Bobby Seale fled to Cuba for a long time, for a very long time. He was in Cuba for a long time. He's back in the States now, and from what I understand, he has his own line of barbecue sauce, and from what I understand, it's pretty good. So, yeah, and he talks about his life, from time he was growing up up until he met the other person that founded the Black Panthers, and a whole bunch of other things, and how he fled to Cuba because nobody here had his back. Again, we got, ladies and gentlemen. So, Seize the Time by Bobby Seale. Definitely get that book. Another book I had, God, I wish I had these up here. Another book that I had to check out was the book by the other co-founder of the Black Panthers, Dr. Huey P. Newton. And yes, I did say correctly, Dr. Huey P. Newton, because he was a doctor, college-educated black man. It's called Revolutionary Suicide. Talks about his life. How he came up he's from Louisiana. How he came up from Louisiana up until he became a full-grown man and founded the Black Panthers with Bobby Seale. That brother went to prison for something he didn't do as well. But because he's Huey P. Newton of the Black Panthers and gave the cops all kinds of hell over there in Oakland, California, which is where the Black Panthers were founded. He was a problem, so they had to get rid of him some kind of a way. So they did. They got rid of him. They put him in prison.
So again, reputation.
Yeah, exactly, reputation.
Wow.
Last book I got is by another high-ranking member of the Black Panthers called Soul on Ice by Eldridge Cleaver. Eldridge Cleaver was the Minister of Education, if I made no mistake, in the Black Panther Party. He was high-ranking. And again, another brother that went to prison for some alleged crimes that they had no proof of, but just because of the white, and I'm white and I say so rule, guess what? They went to prison anyway. Good books. Too bad I don't have them up. Next time I will, y'all. Sorry about that.
Sound like some good reads.
Oh, yeah.
Very good reads.
And now, my wife's favorite part of the show. Current events. Yeah. Hey, babe, I did the splash screen different this time. Wait till it pops up. It's kind of a delay here, but there it goes. Check it out. I did that different.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that my boy Don living in the corner.
It's...
Yes. Me like you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's dope.
Kudos to you. That look good.
All right. Who, what, when, where, and why? There you go.
Very nice.
What we got, babe? I know we got some good stuff.
We got a multitude of them. We don't have too many, but same old. I don't even know where to start. I don't know if I want to start locally or go nationally.
Go local first,
Yeah,
and
let's
then
go
branch
local.
out.
I know by now a lot of you, everyone that's possibly listening, has heard about the school district DeSoto.
Oh man.
Fortunately, I am familiar with this school district because that's where my nieces attend. Not to put nobody on blast, but it is what it is. And this week, I read the story and I'm still bothered by it because I don't like to hear about older people in no capacity being disrespected.
Me either.
By anyone.
Hello.
A baby or a 100-year-old person. No one should be disrespected, especially if you don't put in your dues. A black substitute teacher had a chair thrown at him by a student in the DeSoto ISD district. I'm bothered by this story because this man had come down here. He's not from Texas. He had came down from, I want to say Michigan. I know it was somewhere up north. And he was retired, but he came out of retirement because he wanted to show black students, because if you keep it 100, DeSoto ISD is majority of black school district. teach them and give them a better understanding. We as a people, those are not my words, those are his words. And along the line, he asked one of the students who wasn't supposed to even be in his class to lead the class. And the student got a little rowdy and said, no, I don't think I want to do that. So another teacher came by and asked the student to leave as well. But before he left, he threw a chair at the student, at the teacher, the substitute teacher. I'm having a hard time understanding why this even took place. Is there something going on in the home? What is going on in our school districts? This is not the first time this has happened either.
No, it isn't. It's happening in several schools.
Do we blame the parents at this time? Could he just been having a bad day? Was he embarrassed because the substitute teacher called him out in front of his peers? I have questions. And some of the reporters were interviewing some of the other parents as they came up to pick up their student, and they are just flabbergasted. Like, what can we do? What do we need to do? I'm glad that's not my child. A lot of them said they was embarrassed for the parents. I don't know. What do you think?
This is what I think. Excuse me. We have had this conversation on several occasions, and you know this. We have stayed up all night, literally talking about this. That young man had no respect for his elders, and I'm going to ask you, as a black woman, what does respect start being taught at?
At home. HOME, at home. Your home, your grandparents' home, group home, I don't care, but it's at home.
I agree 100%. You have not said anything that was wrong. Respect starts in the home. Now, this young man had no respect for his authority, for authority figures. With that being said, he should have just left the class, because he wasn't even supposed to be in that class.
Not at all.
So why was he there in the first place?
Being disrespectful, being disruptive.
Right, being disruptive. I mean, he's just that's pretty much what he was doing. He was just causing trouble. That's it, in a nutshell. He was causing trouble. So with that said, that's the main reason why I'm not a teacher. Really, it is, because I know that I grew up in a household, and so is you, and so did you. I grew up in a household that if you get bucked with a grown person, you put yourself in a grown person's place. You better handle yourself like a grown person should. So if that were me, I would probably be in jail for hitting a child. I'm just being honest with you, because I'm not going to put up with any disrespect from anybody's children. That's not how I'm built.
Right.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to say his name, but his name is Larry Broomfield. And, after all that, all the ruckus, the chair cut him across the face, he was bleeding. He still say, this week, this happened Friday, and this week coming up, this week here is spring break. He said once spring break is over, he wants to return back to the classroom. That's, I don't know. I think that's very honorable of him. I think that shows him that he is teaching straight from his heart. No other reason, like, not to put a lot of teachers on blast, but I do have a lot of teachers, and I know a lot of teachers, and sometimes they just say they there for the paycheck. But for this man to go through this, 73, he could be retiring, traveling, playing golf, doing whatever he wants to do. But he wants to come back into the classroom to teach these children. And he said, even though that happened to him, he wants to return back to the classroom. So kudos to him.
Yeah, brother.
Kudos
Hold on. I got something for you for that, man. I mean, because, like I said, I know how I am as a person. I know how I am.
Your tolerance level, though. How would you, a chair hurling towards you. And if he wouldn't have ducked, it would have really smacked him in the face. But it just clipped the side of his face. Oh my God. And then some of the parents, they shut down the district. Okay, this happened on a Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday. So they shut down the school on Friday. Nobody went to school on Friday. But the teachers had to come so they can have a meeting on what they can do going forward. And a lot of the parents is like, well, maybe they need to take away their cell phone. I feel like if they take away their cell phone, their earbuds, they tablets or whatever, that's gonna cause more ruckus because, like I
Oh, I
said,
agree.
a lot of these kids are like they cannot live without their devices
It's like
and their
it's,
social media accounts.
it's like it's an attachment on their arm. The children that they have are going to mutate. It's going to come out with, it's going to come out the womb with something attached to either to their ear or to their hand. You know. And so, with that being said, man, you know, I agree with you on that too, because that's going to cause a bigger problem.
But like a question that a lot of different people that I've talked to and I've seen interviewed, we are all wondering what's happening at this child home, because
Right.
you really can't make or expect the school district, the teachers or whoever discipline your child, do it all. They can't do it all.
We both said it.
We
That
have your
starts
kids,
in the home.
what, 7 to 7.5 hours a day.
Right.
What about the other hours?
Right.
You're not doing nothing. You're just leaving it up to the school. And it's look like this might be a case of that.
I agree with you on that.
I don't know. I'm not trying to.
And like I said, that young man hasn't been taught any kind of discipline whatsoever. None. Because I look at it like this: if you acting that way at school, I can just imagine how you act at home. I mean, there's no respect being taught.
So what do you think should be done about him? Should he be suspended for the rest of the year? Should the parents be fined? Should the teacher, what you call it?
I give the teacher props, man.
Call when you go to the police. What they call?
Make a report.
Make a report. Should they go to that far, or should he just keep the loving spirit that he has now, saying that he is returning back to the classroom?
I'm just gonna be honest with you, man. I think they should have capital punishment come back in the schools. That's just my personal opinion. But then again, you got some parents out there that are stupid and say, "You ain't gonna whoop my kids." Why? You ain't whooping them. Obviously. That's what I think. I mean, you know, that's just my personal opinion. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But that's just an opinion.
And then the kids sitting up there, the students sitting up there videotaping. It's one of those videos that I seen. It's one girl. She was just sitting in her chair. Her head was going back and forth like she was looking at a tennis match. She never got up out her chair. That shows me that happens in that classroom or in that school all the time.
Well,
all the time.
Well, from my experience when I was in school, and I'm quite sure you probably experienced it yourself. Whenever a substitute teacher comes into the classroom, that's just a license to do whatever the hell you want to do because the main teacher is gone.
Yeah.
And I've seen that happen on so many different occasions in school where the substitute teacher literally caught hell from students because the students know that the substitute teacher really has no authority over them. So to be honest with you, I don't think there's an easy answer for this.
Right.
I mean, because again, like I said earlier, me and you have had this conversation on several occasions about how disrespectful this generation is towards authority figures.
Absolutely. Well, kudos to them. I hope everything getting. Like I said, DeSoto is it's a suburb of Dallas. Very good district. They have won all kind of awards. Just to hear this one little, or maybe there has been other incidents for some of the other teachers and parents have said, but for this one to make national news, that's, first of all, to me, it's embarrassing.
I agree.
It's a black district.
Yeah.
You gonna say, people gonna say, oh well, what do you expect?
Yeah,
but
that's exactly
you
it.
know, but here we are having the DeSoto girls go out and win a basketball championship.
Yeah.
The boys almost won it. So you have those different things going on, but then you have this one little incident right here that just diminished all the other good.
Yeah.
So hopefully this will just come out on top, and everybody that's involved will get the help and the concern that they need.
Right.
Well, here's another local story. We have a news anchor here named Tashira Parker.
Yeah.
She is a Parker.
Hey, she might be related. You never know.
She is a Dallas Morning News anchor for WFAA News 8 in Dallas, Texas. And the reason why I want to bring this story because she has been getting for several years now like a ring around the rosy kind of feedback from some of the viewers because she rock her natural hair.
Right.
And she wear clothes that fit
Right.
her.
Right.
She is a curvaceous woman, very beautiful, very talented, has won all kind of media awards. And because she, I guess, for lack of a better statement, conformed to the masses, she has been getting it pretty bad. She's been getting all kind of hate mail and letters saying, don't do this, don't do it. Maybe she need to be suspended, taught a lesson. So I don't know how to feel about that because I rock my natural hair.
Well, again,
you know?
well, again, I wish I had a picture of this sister because she's an attractive sister.
Very.
She really is. She's really pretty.
Very.
And as far as the sister is concerned, that's all jealousy on the part of, and I'm going to go ahead and say it, that's jealousy on the white folks' part. And the reason why I say that is because, again, this sister is very attractive. She's very curvaceous. And with a sister being as curvaceous as she is, it's gonna be kind of difficult for her to find clothing that don't conform to her shape because she is so curvy. Nothing you can do about that. Black women are naturally curvy. They really are. Black women are naturally curvy. Most of them. They're naturally curvy. Nothing you can do about that.
Nothing. I don't know. It's still disgusting that somebody will look at this. I think we did a story a couple weeks ago about the black anchor who had the African medallion.
Right,
on.
exactly.
I mean, come
exactly.
on.
I mean, the sister. I mean, I'll be the first to tell anybody. I'm gonna go ahead and put my wife out there. My wife got a donk back there.
No.
And ain't nothing she can do about it. She can't hide that.
No, you got a dunk all over, but you know,
She can't hide that. You know, that's just it.
I don't know. Why will people look at a TV screen
Right.
and pass judgment because of a person you don't know her, you don't know her family, you don't know her upbringing, but you're passing judgment on her.
It's like I said, if she was let's just go out. Let's just go ahead and say it. If she looked like if she had a look like, let's say, a Whoopi Goldberg, let's just be honest, they wouldn't be saying anything.
Well, no, because a couple weeks ago, Whoopi got in trouble. That's because of what she said, not the way she looks.
Right.
Yeah, she had to be reprimanded. She
That's
was
my whole
suspended
point.
for
That's
2
my whole
weeks.
point.
For
That's my
things that
whole
she
point.
said,
That's
yeah.
kind of my point.
So you think if Whoopi would have looked the way Tashira looked, plus said what she had said,
Oh, it would have been. It would have been a problem.
yeah,
It would have been a problem.
yeah.
It would have been a real big problem. Like I said, let's just be real. White women ain't as curvy as a black woman. They're not.
Now there are some now.
There are exceptions to every rule.
Some have went out and bought it.
There are exceptions to every rule. I'm not saying that. I've seen some curvy white women, but for the most part, white women ain't curvy. Ain't naturally curvy. Let's put it like this: they're not naturally curvy like a sister.
Right.
And that's the problem.
Right.
Like I said, if she was a sister that looked like, I'm gonna go ahead and say Lizzo. I mean, don't get me wrong, Lizzo is pretty.
Very.
Don't get me wrong.
Very.
But and I'm not knocking big women. Believe me, I ain't knocking big women.
That's right.
Hello. Come on now.
That's right.
Y'all see my wife. I'm not knocking big women. But my point is this: if she had a look like, let's say, a Lizzo, or like I said, a Whoopi Goldberg, nobody would say a word about this sister looking the way she does.
Right, or dress dowdy.
Right.
Long sleeve, no cleavage.
Right,
no
exactly.
Tight form. I mean, it's not tight. It's just it fits her shape.
Right, and she can't help that. She can't help that.
it.
Really, she can't.
She can't help what God bless her with.
Nope.
And what her mom and her daddy gave her. So
Exactly.
it is what it is.
Well,
let's move on to this. Of course, I'm pretty sure if you drive, you have noticed the gas prices.
Yep.
And I noticed the gas prices down here in Dallas. And it's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. The car I drive, I have to use premium gas.
WTF?
Right. And I'm so tempted to go to regular, but I don't want to mess up my motor. That's the last thing I need is any problem with my motor. But $4.17 a gallon for regular, how much you think it's going to be for premium?
Oh my God.
Right. Almost probably close to $5 or over $5 a gallon of gas.
When I was out earlier today, I had to go to the store to pick up a few things for the wife. And gas, for regular gas, had went down just a little bit. It's below $4. Let's put it like that.
I thought you were saying it's back in the $3s.
Oh no!
It's still in the $4s.
It's below
Still the
$4.
same.
No, it's below $4. It's like $3.93, which ain't too much.
Oh my God, that ain't no better.
I agree. I'm just saying it's below $4 because like for the past week it's been what, $4.09 and $4.19.
$4.07. The highest I've seen is $4.17.
Right.
For regular. If you're like me, we haven't went nowhere for the last couple of days.
We haven't, man. We stayed in the house. I mean,
I mean,
I go to. I mean,
I think this is my protest for the gas stations.
I mean, this woman sitting across from me. You can ask her. I go to work and come home. That's it, right, babe? That's it.
Yeah. I
Working home.
guess it's our little protest for the gas. It's like, man, this is crazy.
And we have date night on a
Yeah.
regular basis. We can't do that now.
Not right now. Mm-mm. And I refuse to. He said, "You want to go out?" No,
Yeah, that's exactly what she says.
I don't.
That's exactly what she says.
I feel like I don't feel like, to me, it could be. They keep saying it's because of Russia.
Right.
And we do get a lot of our resources from Russia. But it had to go up that far. It went up. I was paying $3.69 a gallon for gas. And now it's going up to almost $79, almost $1 within a couple of days, a couple of weeks. And Russia's war been going on for about 2 weeks now, 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
That's too much. I'm sorry.
Well, let me explain to everybody.
too much.
Let me explain to everybody what's going on over there in Russia. For those of you who don't know, okay. Let's go back to a brief history lesson. Okay. Russia and the surrounding countries around Russia were part of this thing called the USSR, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. Okay, that started, I want to say under Lenin. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, somebody please correct me. And that was with Russia being at the top of the table because they were the biggest country. Okay, so after the so-called Cold War, for those of you who don't know what a Cold War is, it's a war without as much bloodshed. It's pretty much a spy war. It's a war in the background, and the Cold War had been going on since the early to mid '60s, all the way up until like the mid to late '80s. Okay, and once the mid to late '80s come around and the Cold War stopped, Russia broke up into several different countries. Russia being the biggest, Uzbekistan, the Ukraine, and a few other countries. Those are just the ones I can think of at the top of my head. Now, with Putin, what he wants to do is take control over the Ukraine and its resources so Russia can be more powerful. And that's what's going on right now.
That spells bully to me.
I agree.
Sorry.
I agree.
That spells bullying.
I agree.
You trying to take on a small. I mean, Ukraine is not even half as big as Russia.
Nowhere near it.
So why are you over there fighting for what? Because they want to do something that you wanted them to do.
He wanted to take over their resources. That's what the problem is. That's what the problem is. But how does that affect foundational Black Americans here in the States? It doesn't. Because for the most part, Black people have this whole ideology. My name is Paul. That shit's between y'all. You know.
But you get the remnants of it for like high gas.
Well, I mean, we reap the not say the benefits, because that's not a benefit of having high gas prices.
All.
We reap the results of what's going on with
the
that.
downfall.
Yeah, we reap the downfall of that. But like I said, for the most part, that ain't got nothing to do with us. And Black people have that ideology. That's not our problem.
Right.
White folks, it's unfortunate that that's happening to you over there. And Black people have this whole ideology. Hold your own nuts. Sorry. I mean, you know, hopefully you get through it.
And just to interject, I mean, Poe Brittany Griner, I know we don't do hot topics or whatever.
I was getting ready to talk about that.
That baby, I think she's gonna feel the brunt of it just because she was over there. What gets me, she plays over there. She goes over. She's been going over there for many years.
Her and a whole bunch of of them. They go over there in the off season to play.
Right. And so why I didn't know TC, what's that, HTC, whatever it is they put in those little TAC that they put in a little. I didn't think it was that. Is it that big of a deal that they had to detain her? I'm like,
let me get back on this mic.
I think they're just trying to make an example out of her about what's going on today. I really do.
No, it was CBD oil, which is a low grade version of THC oil.
Right.
Okay, that's pretty much what it was. And I'm assuming the reason why she had that CBD oil is because with her being a professional athlete, it eases her pain.
It's just probably to relax after a big game like that.
Right, exactly.
She's
to relax,
tall.
and if she has any body aches or whatever, that helps. That it really does help. I know several people that use CBD oil for pain. You know,
I think she's just getting the results of it. And it's another guy. He's still over there because of something with Russia. It's like, what is going on? It's like, you're trying to make an example out of the wrong people.
Well, the thing about that sister, I hope that sister gets to come home.
Me too.
I really do.
Me
But
too.
the one thing that I don't want to happen is for the alphabet people to turn this into a big old fiasco because of her sexuality. Because to be honest with you, that really doesn't have anything to do with anything. She's an American. She's one of us. Bring her home. Plain and simple. Her sexuality has nothing to do with
Nothing to
that.
do
Nothing.
with it.
Don't nobody care.
Not at all. Which lead me to my next story.
Okay.
Jesse Smollett. Jesse. Now, Jesse, I was rolling with you. I think you are super talented. I was down for Jesse when this story first came out, but now it's just not making sense.
I'm telling you, that's
And his reaction in the court the other day, I'm lost for words.
Let me just say this
am
real
lost for
quick.
words.
Let me just say this about Mr. Juicy Smollett,
Not
as
juicy.
as Dave Chappelle called him, Juicy Smollett, because he didn't want to get sued. You know, when I first heard that story, I thought something was wrong with it in the first damn place. I really did. I mean, you're in Chicago in the middle of winter, and
Blizzard.
anybody that has been to Chicago and has lived in Chicago, I know a few people that lived in Chicago. You don't. During the blizzard, you don't step out into the street unless you want to be a human popsicle.
Not at 2 o'clock in the morning.
But and he went there. He was out at 2 o'clock in the morning.
The coldest part of the night or morning, however you
Thank you.
look at it.
Exactly. To go get a Subway sandwich.
And again, I didn't know Subway was open.
And
that
I know
late.
Subway. I guess I don't know. I've never. I mean. Let's just put it like this: the Subways that we know about, they close at what, 9 o'clock?
Shut it down. 9:00 p.m.
Exactly.
Shuts it down.
So I don't know how it is in Chicago, but here in Dallas, Texas, and in Oklahoma, where I'm from, 9 o'clock, they cut that crap off. Now, and he just happened to be out when two other people were out wearing MAGA hats, calling him racial epithets and homophobic epithets.
And so that's why I brought that story. We were talking about that story because I hope the LBGTQP,
The alphabet folks.
Yeah, I hope they don't try to think that this is the court system is treating him like this because of his his affiliation. I hope that's not what it is.
They don't have anything to do with it.
Nothing. But then again, it makes sure what is this all about?
Right.
Because when they finally find the people that he accused of doing it, they're nothing like what he described.
They were black, and they were
And
African
they were
to be.
squealing on him like two howling pigs.
They were singing. They were singing like
Yes.
Sam and Dave.
Canaries.
Man, they were singing like the Temptations, wasn't they, baby?
Hitting them high notes like, what's his name?
Smokey Robinson and Eddie Kendricks.
You ain't Otis. Who the one say you ain't Otis? What's that song?
Ain't nobody come to
Ain't
see
like, yeah,
you,
ain't nobody
Otis.
come see you, Otis. Hitting them high notes like Smokey Robinson and what's that song we listened the other day about Smokey Robinson? Hitting them high notes.
Oh man,
Hitting
come
them
on.
high notes like crazy. It's like, man, they turned, and I think he paid them, didn't he? But they still turned around and squealed
Yep,
on him.
they told on his ass. They told on his ass. Now, the one thing I didn't like was how the judge was talking to him.
That bothered me. But in
I mean,
essence, I get it
I
because
understand it.
all seems like this is a fairy tale that's made up in this man's
Right,
mind.
right.
And you're going to this extent too. First of all, I hate to say it, he tried to blame two white people. That was blaming them on wearing mega
Right.
hats, which is Trump.
Right.
And you know them Trump people don't play with that.
They sure
and I
don't.
don't know this for certain. This is just me and my melanated thought. The judge might be a Trump supporter.
I'm thinking he is.
Yeah. So
I
that's
wouldn't
why
doubt it.
Jesse got that little lashing.
I wouldn't doubt it. But think of it,
Thinking
he got
that's
what,
why.
150 days in jail?
100. A lot of people think it should have been years.
No,
But
I
he
mean,
got 150 days, and I think a $25,000 restitution
oh,
that he
that's
has to pay back.
that's a slap on the wrist. I
Yeah.
mean, it really is. That's a slap on the
But
wrist.
the part where he was calming out saying, I'm not suicidal. And I read a story this morning that his brother said that he had to be on suicide watch. Why? He
For
just
what?
said he,
He just
wasn't
said he wasn't
suicidal.
suicidal.
Right.
So,
Right.
okay. I mean, 150 days in jail. That's a slap on the wrist,
Yeah.
y'all. That's a slap on the wrist. That's
But
no
then
time.
let me, here I am. Hello, hi, can I say something? Miss Devil Advocate. Kyle Wittenhouse killed 3 people.
And he's
He
out
didn't
there.
serve not one day in jail.
Yeah. Good point. I have no argument with that.
Breonna Taylor.
We'll talk about that
No
later.
mercy for her.
We'll talk about that later.
But they put Jesse in jail for 150 days for something he did to himself. That's just like that football player who shot himself. Remember who was that? He shot himself. And they still send him to jail. It's like when you take care of yourself, they put you in jail.
Oh man, that's kind of that's kind of that's kind of backwards, but
up.
okay, that's kind of backwards. But
Oh
okay.
yeah. And of course, please keep rushing your prayers. You know, it's still going on. Like I said earlier, the war is still going on. They bombed the school the other day. They bombed the hospital the other day. So please keep rushing your prayers.
I hate to hear about stuff like that, and
that's all the news is mostly about these days.
That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I mean, that war is unnecessary. Number one, and number two, I hate that it's happening to them, but y'all gotta keep your heads up in the words of Tupac. So, but like I said, as far as Foundation Black Americans is concerned, sorry, that's y'all.
I want to mention this story because we did speak about it on the show previously.
Yeah.
And the first person to go to trial for the January 6th riots is from Texas.
Oh, is it?
His name is Guy Reffitt, Reffitt, and he was found guilty on all accounts, so he will be going to jail. He was one of the ones who stormed the Capitol with guns, and the one who was going around with the zip ties. It was saying, "Where's Trump? Pence? Where's Pence? Where's Pence?" So I just want to mention it because I kept saying, "Has anybody went to trial for this?" And unfortunately, there has been someone. He is the first one, and he is a Texas.
Okay, I heard about that. I heard about this story. Didn't his son or somebody at that tournament?
His son and his daughter. Yeah.
Yeah, his son and daughter tournament.
Yeah.
Well, all I got to say about that is this.
Texas or not, huh?
But Texas or not, I mean, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But I mean, he went to trial. Let's see what the sentencing is going to be.
True.
Because there's been a few people getting slapped. There's been a lot of folks getting slaps on the wrist for their very same insurrection. They call it insurrection, which in actuality it was treason, because they committed a crime against their nation. So that's actually an act of treason, and treason is punishable by death. So I don't think that white supremacy wants that to happen. Let's just go ahead and say it. There's way too many white folks to be put to death, and they can't have that because their numbers are already dwindling.
Well, if you did the time and you all on camera, they got your face on camera. For lack of better word, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Come on now, say that again.
Because there was a bunch of black people storming.
Oh man, the rules would have been a whole lot different. Everybody would be in jail right now.
Not trying to make this about race, people, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, man. Call a spade, babe. What else you got?
Here's another story. Now, these are some of the stories that we read and we be like, what the?
We say this.
WTF.
Right. So here we go. It's a bunch of them.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean a bunch. A Texas telecom company allegedly isolated black employees into a separate room with cameras to watch them as they work. This happened in Texas as well.
Oh,
but in this case, it took a couple of years, but the black employees, it was 10 of them, plus one Mexican. They filed a defamation and discrimination lawsuit, and they won $70 million. So kudos to them. Yeah. But the fact that you go to work and you are on camera, and then you had to ask to go to the restroom, you had to ask to take a break. You couldn't be longer than 15 minutes. If you came back at 5:16, they asked you where you been, what you been doing. You're getting your your pay doc. I don't think I can work under that circus, but I know we all need a job.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Goodness.
Let me tell you something. If I gotta go to the bathroom, I'm getting up and going. I'm not in school. I'm a grown ass man. But then
when they came and asked to come, they were like, "Oh no, I don't know where they got that from."
Of course.
The name of the company, let's go ahead and put it out there. It's called Glow Networks Inc. It's a parent company of CSS Corporation, and that sounds like a very, very hostile environment.
That's a very hostile environment.
I don't think I could. Oh my God, I had to ask you when I can go to the restroom.
But let me ask you this, and I think I already know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask you this. If that were you in that situation, how long would it take for you to pack up your shit and get the hell up out of there?
I'll just leave. They can have it, because I don't have nothing but a blanket and a heater, a couple of pens, and some stickies. They can have it. I will leave and I will not return.
Okay.
That is very hostile. You know you on camera, so you gotta sit. They couldn't use their phone. Like, what if your daughter called, your son called, or something happened? You couldn't answer your phone. That's crazy. And my motto was, I hope no future employees or whatever listening, but if you put a phone on my desk or in my office, it's gonna get used. And if I don't have a phone, my cell phone is gonna be charged up using your electricity.
Come on now.
Because just in case something happens, I need my phone. Too much is happening these days.
Yep.
So I like I said, I hate that this happened, but I'm glad they won their discrimination lawsuit.
Well, see, here's the thing. You have a husband now also.
Mm-hmm.
What if something happens to him?
And that's why I tell y'all, time, let me know when you make it to work, because it's when you leave this place to where you going, things
Anything
happen
can happen
within a blink of an eye.
Anything can happen. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So, you know, I mean, you know, and again, you have a husband.
Mm-hmm.
I have a wife.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's going to tell me that I can't use my phone. Because if I got to use my phone, guess what? I'm going to use it. And I'm going to use it for as long as I need to use it.
Right.
And you can't stop me. You can try to stop me. The worst you can do is what? Fire me? Okay, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure that's probably why they won, because the ramifications and the excuses that the company was trying to give probably was so asinine. The judge was like, really?
I wonder what the turnaround time is at that job. I'm just curious.
Yeah, me too. The turnover, you mean?
Yeah, turnover. Yeah, that's what I meant. The turnover time.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I wonder what that is.
Very good question. Okay, here's another WTF.
Okay.
Quote unquote, ignored her chilling screams.
Oh.
A black woman whose scalp, head, brain, SCALP, was mauled off by a police dog while the officer watched.
Well,
this happened in 2020 in Brentwood, California.
I read about this story. But here is my deal with this story right here. Now, granted, the woman was doing some crooked stuff. I understand that part. She was, she was in that stealing, wasn't she?
Let me interject. It's funny to me because everybody know I love makeup.
Yeah.
And I love Ulta.
Yeah.
Ulta is a beauty supply store for those of you who don't know.
Yeah.
They accused this woman of going into Ulta and stealing $10,000 worth of merchandise from Ulta.
WTF?
Now, I've been in Ulta. They do have some high-end things, and they have some low-end things. But I really don't think... I think the whole store might be about $5,000.
If that.
So okay, let me go ahead. That's my interjection about what they were trying to steal.
But yeah, when I heard about that, I'm like, there is no way in hell she could have stole $10,000 worth of stuff. There's no way. There's no way. I didn't believe that when I first heard it.
It was her and two other cohorts, but they said they wrapped up $10,000.
Even with two people, can you wrap up? Can you?
So.
I mean,
I'm
gonna go to the store. You know better than me.
Like I said, unless they got some stuff that I don't know about, nah. It's makeup. It's like little tubes of makeup, little small containers of blush, foundation. Yeah, they have hair. Yeah, they have styling tools and things like that. But $10,000,
that's a lot of makeup.
That's a lot of everything.
That's a lot of That's
but
a lot
the point that they went ahead and tried to take off in the car, and the police were trying to catch them, and they ran through a red light, and they tried to get out the car. And this when the story happened. Go ahead.
I don't have anything for that one. I mean, that right there it's messed up on so many levels. And the reason why I say it's messed up because they actually sat and watched the police dog rip this woman's scalp out. That's the part that gets me. And they just watched it. And nothing happened to him.
They said he sunk his teeth.
I believe it.
Into her head.
I believe it. I believe it.
And she kept saying, the dog is biting me. The dog is biting me. My brain is bleeding.
Well, yeah.
And so the officer started trying to say heal in German, but the dog ignoring him twice. And then the dog finally let go or released. And they asked the officer what happened after they watched the video cam and the body cam video and everything. The officer had the audacity to respond, well, you shouldn't run from the police. That was his answer.
WTF?
So hopefully her she filed a lawsuit. So hopefully her lawsuit will be
I hope she's suing for
successful.
whatever she can get, man. I mean, granted, granted, Sister Girl was stealing. Okay, I get that part.
Of course.
But
Then they ran.
They
fled.
Okay, they fled the scene.
Fled the scene, yeah.
Yeah,
The scene.
that's what thieves do. Nothing you can do about that. Black, white, green, or purple doesn't matter.
I'm just gonna say this.
Say
This is
it.
kind of like, to me, when they shoot men in the back for running.
Right.
Black men.
That's
in the back
that's
for
pretty
running.
much where I'm
They
getting
got the
at.
best. These three women got the best of him and his little dog, and he got offended, and he sucked his canine on her. When she got out the car to try to run, she probably was one of the slow ones. No, I'm just saying. And he told his dog, attack, and he attacked, and that dog could have hit her. Because I've seen them go for your arm or go for your leg. I've never seen them go for the scalp, the head.
Go for the head, yeah.
But he just sat there and watched and said, well,
He didn't care.
you shouldn't have ran.
My man didn't care.
He didn't give a damn.
No, he didn't. He gave less than a damn if you let that happen.
Here's another WTF.
Okay.
Quote unquote, he was a big guy. Ohio white man arrested on charges of punching a black woman and dragging her by her hair in the streets. Now, when I read I'm gonna go ahead and lead it up, and you can sign it off. When I saw the story, I read the story. It was this big, tall white guy. He was getting handled by some other people, and the black woman, and she was the only black woman out there amongst all those people, and of course she was stopping his stance. So I guess he must have thought she was pointing and laughing at him, so he got offended and called her a racial slur. And then he walked up to her and punched her in the face. Now, all them other men out there, all them other women out there, he attacked the 23-year-old African-American woman. Her name was Cameron Morgan. But I must say, them other men that was out there gave him a...
He got that work, didn't he?
He got that work. And I was so like, yes, hit him again. Because she wasn't the only one out there making any kind of noise or saying something about it, but he singled her out. And then call her a racial slur on top of it.
Here's how white supremacists operate. They always go for the weakest target. He saw a black woman alone. She's a prime target. So when that happens, it's just like when you're out in the wild. Whenever you see lions hunting, what they try to do, they try to catch somebody slipping, and they call her slipping. And so he jawed. I saw the video. He jawed her like she was a man. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I'm just gonna go ahead and say what he called. He called her a nigger bitch.
Yeah. Two derogatory words.
You know.
But after I read the story and I saw the video, he gonna get off. You wanna know why? Because he said he was drunk.
Yeah, he said he was drunk.
And he stayed until the police came. So they gonna feel like that's probably like a good point in his favor.
Oh yeah.
But he stayed. But I haven't heard anything about the case. But he's probably gonna get. If he don't get off, he probably gonna get hardly any time for it.
More likely than not, he'll get like a slap on the wrist. He'll get a slap on the wrist. It'll probably be a low-level assault charge, if that. So.
No, I said with several people, he was involved in several different fights, but him to just turn around and signal her out, that's crazy.
With him being as belligerent as he was,
nigger bitch, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth? What's up, nigger bitch? What?
And socked her like she was a man. I saw the video.
She was a man.
I saw the video. I saw the whole video.
But then them other men started whooping their head. They talking about, you don't hit a woman.
The brothers came out of nowhere. I don't know where them brothers came from, but them brothers.
It was some white.
It was some white dudes too. But them brothers came out of nowhere. They came woo, and they got his ass, boy. Man, they tore his ass up.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, so to those brothers, yeah, buddy. But he got that work, but that's okay. What else you got, baby?
Bet you won't get drunk no more and try to go out.
Hell no.
We're finna go turn some corn. You better turn some corners in your living room.
Turn some corners in your living room. I'm gonna turn the corner from the bathroom to the bedroom. How about that?
Here's another WTF.
Okay.
A Southern California deputy who gunned down a black homeless man stopped for jaywalking will face no charges. Yeah.
Wow. Hold
Killed
on.
a homeless man.
Hold on. That's the wrong one.
WTF.
That's the one I meant to use.
Killed a homeless man for jaywalking. And again,
Now-
there is a video for that one.
Yeah, I saw that video too.
And he was trying to explain, and the man kept saying, "Where do you want me to go?" He kept asking the officer, and you really couldn't hear nothing that the officer was saying. And I think the young man got the best of him, and they shot him. His name is Kurt Andreas Reinhold. That's the young man who got shot.
My heart goes out to his family.
Yes.
Uh,
And his family said he did have mental issues.
well, see, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
They don't look at that. They don't care about that unless he has a complexion with the connection for the
And I
protection.
said this before, they need to
So-
have sensitivity training. Don't let your gun be the first thing you pull. Try to reckon and try to reason it. Then if you have to pull your taser, everything don't have to result in your gun being pulled.
I agree with you on that.
Come on. But again, we've lost another one in the streets because of recklessness. Another WTF. Ridiculous.
I agree.
Here's another one. We just all around us, around the world today. A Florida man who fatally punched a 77-year-old white man who called him the N-word at his Dunkin' Donut job is sentenced to house arrest.
Well, that's a slap on the wrist, but you know, my man.
But you can't be going nobody's job calling him out the name.
Excuse me, my man. I heard about this story a while back. My man put them hands on that dude because the dude. Here's the gist of the story, y'all. Bruh man was back there doing this thing at Dunkin' Donuts.
Yes, he was.
White man comes in, and I guess he didn't like the service he got.
Yep.
Called my man, a racial epithet. Called him a nigger.
Yep.
Bruh man jawed him,
Yep.
and when he jawed him, he fell and hit the back of his head on the ground. So basically, that was an accidental death. I
Now,
mean, it
do
was
we
caused
get-
by the punch, but still.
Do he get a pass because he's 77? Because once they say they get over 65, they just say whatever comes to their mind.
No,
So
that's bullshit.
do we get him a pass for being 77?
Nope. Because a black man wouldn't get a pass for being 77. You know that, and I know that.
What you say?
Oh, you heard me. Come on, Tina.
Again, like I've said so many times on this show, where's the empathy?
None.
Why is there so much difference? Why?
I told you,
Why
babe.
this man was at his job. If the man put a pickle on your burger or put some coffee in your cream, some cream in your coffee, and you didn't want it, he can start fresh.
Thank you. To start over.
You didn't have to call that man out, Joe. Now, unless this boy was going off on you, even if he was going off on you, sometimes you have to be, as in my good friend Michelle Obama say, sometimes you just got to rise high. But I know sometimes, personally, I can say this too, you want to stay low. But sometimes, some things is not even worth the fight, And then here you are, done got knocked the hell out
Yep.
at 77 years old at Dunkin' Donuts.
Jaw broken from what I understand. So, bruh, man, see, we talked about this before too. You can't just go around and just say anything to anybody nowadays because you're gonna get them hands.
You gonna get them hands.
I mean,
think they think this is like back in the
40s and the 50s.
the 30s and the
30s, 40s, and 50s. You can
early
call somebody a
40s,
nigga and it's
and
go.
they be looking down and won't look at you. If they cross the street when they see you coming, oh no,
Nah.
oh no. I wish we could see that video when that man was at the Applebee's and he was slapping.
Oh, slapping the racism out there, white man. That was funny.
That's another one.
That was funny, man.
And that man told him, "Say it again."
he went pinky
And
on
they
him.
just be looking like they don't understand what they say. They be looking like, "What did I say?"
You know what you said.
You gonna learn when you get home.
You
You
gonna
put
learn
that
today.
ice pack on the back of your neck.
There you go.
But kudos to him. I mean, I hope he don't lose his job, but he has been sentenced to house arrest. So
well, brother
didn't
man
have to go
shouldn't
to
lose his
jail.
job. I mean, he shouldn't lose his job. Not to say that he won't, but he shouldn't. That's like that. I mean, I'm just gonna say it like that. He shouldn't lose his job, but he probably will. But it is what it is. What else you got, baby?
now here's another WT that touched my heart and soul.
Okay.
A white woman loses it in a Wisconsin Walmart, reportedly destroys property over Black Lives Matter promotional products. Now, to segue off this story a little bit, everybody know I am a big fan of Bath and Body Works.
Yep.
And I was so proud to walk into Bath and Body Works during Black History Month, and they had a whole section
Yeah.
dedicated to Black history.
Okay.
But this woman walked in Walmart, and because they had a couple of things for Black Lives Matter, she loses it and destroyed the whole display.
And she said, and I quote, "Black lives matter. My pussy matters." Whew. Let me go ahead and give it to her.
WTF.
So this,
Over and over again, she kept saying that.
so this
And you know what she was throwing?
candles. I saw the
So
video
those
to that
candles bothered you that much, as big as Walmart is, and they probably had just like, you know what they call them, the little
too.
owls.
Little partition on the
Yeah,
aisle.
in the middle, and that display bothered you that much that you had to throw a tantrum and destroy it.
She is a typical Karen. That's a Karen. That was a Karen to the fifth power, right there. A Karen to the fifth power. Now, with that said, what did that accomplish?
Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. She should get fined.
Yeah.
And I know they probably gonna say it's some part of mental health,
No, it's not.
like they always say. But yeah, I think this is just too much for me. You can't have a display up about what you want to do, and somebody come in there and just take it over.
But think about this. If you remember this story a while back, whenever they was painting Black Lives Matter on the streets, do you remember that lady that kept on painting over it
Kept painting with the bright yellow.
with a bright yellow, with the bright yellow paint?
With the bright yellow, they couldn't even let theirs dry for she come right behind them and paint it over. Well, here's another one, and this one's kind of, a gut puncher because this happened to a student. Quote unquote, it is still very much alive. A student hurled racial slurs, students hurled racial slurs, mockingly calling a black student Rosa Parks while she's on the school bus.
Let me just say this real quick. Now, that could have went either way. You gonna call me Rosa Parks? I'll take that hit. Rosa Parks was a hero. You gonna call me a hero? All right then.
But the thing is, she's 13 years old. She's biracial.
She probably.
And she said this has not been the first time this has happened to her. This happened in Arkansas.
Oh, okay. All right. So Charlie Sixtooth and his sister / girlfriend / mama. I'm gonna call her Patricia Urenstain. They're going to call this woman. I guess they thought calling her Rosa Parks was calling her a racial slur. I'm quite sure they did call her a racial slur.
They started chanting Rosa Parks, Rosa Parks, and then another section was saying Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, and then they started calling her the N-word.
Of course, that's usually their go-to one.
That's the one that sums it all up.
Yeah, that's their go-to insult right there. That's their go-to insult right there. So I hope that sister and her family stand strong because of that. I mean,
that's just deliberate disrespect, though, sweet pea.
I
Let's
agree with
talk
you.
about it.
I agree with you on that.
13-year-old, 33-year-old, 99-year-old. That's total disrespect.
I have no disagreement with that. I agree.
Deliberate disrespect.
I agree with you on that.
Man, 100%. This is 2022. You think that's
I agree.
And they think they really. I mean, some people do take it to heart, but when they say it, they probably say it so vile-like and think they really cutting you and hurting you.
Right.
But in the interim, you're looking like a fool, my friend. You're looking like a fool.
Wow.
You're looking like a fool. So go ahead, keep saying it. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Black Lives Matter. Yes, I am Rosa Parks. Yes, I know I'm not the N-word.
See, that's when I would draw the line. Gwen's in the room. That's when I would draw the line. Right there. You start slinging the N-word around. You're gonna catch these hands.
Because she wasn't doing nothing about Rosa Parks. She probably like, yes, thank you. Oh yes, Black Lives Matter. Oh, she liking it. Let's get her. Yeah.
That's exactly what I would have done if it was me. I would say, hey.
But let me ask you this: do you really think? I'm pretty sure her parents has taught her. I'm pretty sure she's aware of what's going on in the culture. But do you really think she's old enough to understand the concept of the bullying that she just experienced and that she has been experiencing? She said this is not the first time.
Honestly, I don't think she does. But I'm going to ask. I'm going to venture a guess and say, she probably doesn't have very many friends at this school. That's just a guess.
I think her parents they are going. She had just transferred from another school.
Oh
anyway,
yeah. So
she's
new kid on the block. New kid on the block. Yeah, new kid on the block.
Yeah, that's kind of funny because if you look at her pictures, she really don't look like your typical black young lady.
Right.
So for them to pick it, I guess they probably must have seen either her father, her mother, whoever is black, and realized that she had black in her family.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that's what they picked. Because her picture don't look like she's a typical. She don't look like me. You know, so she's very fair skinned.
Oh, okay.
Very fair skinned.
Okay.
So let's wrap this up. This going to lead into our topic.
All right.
I mentioned it earlier today. The real story was around Ryan Coogler, detained at Atlanta bank after attempting to withdraw $12,000 from his own account. Now, when I heard this story, I saw his picture first.
Right.
He had on a toboggan, what my grandmother called a toboggan. The little hat that's kind of rolled up.
Right.
He owned some dark shades.
Right.
Dressed down like a typical, I'm finna go run errands type of guy.
Right.
Nothing about his appearance read celebrity, big time movie producer, produced one of the top producing, money making movies in the world.
Right.
It didn't say that. But if I'm a bank teller and I misquoted earlier, I thought it was a white teller. It's a black teller. And I hand you a note that says I would like to withdraw $12,000 from my account. I don't think most bank robber notes read like that.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, let me just say this real quick. I'm going to go ahead and say this real quick. First of all, that brother produced one of my favorite Marvel movies.
And you've seen it several times.
I have seen it several times. I know that damn movie word for word. He produced Black Panther, one of the highest grossing Marvel movies ever produced. Okay, and for that sister, and I use the term loosely, to turn that brother in for handing her a note because he wanted to draw money out of his own account, not out of the bank. And, you know, it wasn't a bank robbery note. And they gave their brother the blues because of that. They really did.
And you know what? I feel him because I go to the bank and I be trying to ask for $50. And I be like, don't say don't count, I count. Just put an envelope. Don't count, just put an envelope. Because I don't even want them count me out $50 little dollars.
Right.
Do you think he want them to count him out $12,000? Because they do sit there, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, and somebody sitting on the cut looking at you and she done count you out 12 big $100 bills.
Right.
He probably get knocked in the head by the time he make it to his car.
Hell yeah.
And it's kind of disappointing that this happened in Atlanta. You know,
Shock the city.
But then, you know, I'm going to flip it. And I'm going to think it back to the good old movie Set It Off.
Okay.
Remember Frankie had this same reaction when they saw them black people walking. She was talking about, oh, no, not on my watch. You will not be robbing me on my watch.
Well,
so maybe that's what the teller thought.
That's because, in Frankie's defense, she knew the character of those guys that came into that bank. All right. That's why she said not on my watch.
And maybe that's what she thought. She looked at the way Ryan was dressed and probably think, okay, yeah, see, he didn't make it through the pandemic. He's short on money. He finna rob this bank.
Right.
Just by his appearance. But if this man hand you his ID, gave you the account number.
And that's what I was getting ready to say. She had the account number, had the proper identification, the whole nine, and she still did that.
And he explained what he wanted it for. On the note, everything was precisely written on the note, but she still just assumed he was a bank robber.
With all that information.
With all that information.
I want to dig a little bit deeper into that myself, but that's just my personal opinion. I wonder if she was a foundation of Black America. She might have been a foreigner.
I don't know. They said she was black, though.
Okay.
Which leads me to Bootsy. Now, Bootsy done said some things about some people. I be like, what did he say?
I'm not a Bootsy fan by any stretch of the imagination, but you're absolutely right. He did.
But his reaction to pretty much the same scenario for him at Bank of America.
And it's the same bank, y'all. It's the same bank.
That's Bank of America. I personally don't like Bank of America.
You've had experiences at Bank of
I've
America.
had experience with Bank of America, and I switched immediately when I was able to get with a credit union. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus.
Right.
But I don't think this is a good look for Bank of America going forward. I think it was a third person. I can't remember the name, but this happened to another
This is
black celebrity.
this has happened to several
Recently.
people. This has happened to several people at the very same bank, mind you.
I understand things are tough.
I get that
And
part.
these banks are getting tired of getting robbed and it, but I don't know. And I know they gotta cover themselves, but I think most banks, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not in banking. FDIC mean you financially insured.
You are
So if
insured.
Boosie was writing you a bad check for $6,500, you go get your money back
You'll
from the
get your money
government.
back. You'll get your money back.
If that was not,
That's insurance.
If that
basically.
if that wasn't Ryan Coogler's account, they would have got that $12,000 back.
They sure would have.
I don't know the ramification on their end. Maybe they get penalized for that or
I
something.
don't know what the deal is with that.
But
I really don't know what the deal is
This
with
is not
that.
a good look.
But this is not a good look for Bank of America. It really isn't.
I wonder what would happen to me if I go into a bank and say, yes, I'd like to withdraw $5. And they be like, oh, no, man, we're going to give you a cashier's check for $5. And I'm telling them, look at my account. I have money in my account. Why can't you cash this check for $5? And they give me the runaround. Boosie said he was in that bank for almost 2 hours.
I believe it.
2 hours. And
I believe it.
And I must admit, the way Boosie talk and the way I've seen some of his other reactions, kudos to this brother because he never got disrespectful. He did tell him something, like I said, he didn't have to tell him he was a celebrity and he had all those accounts and he had millions of dollars in his account. Which now that I understand, I can see the scenario. You're hounding me for a $6,500 check, but I have 9 accounts here and each account have over $1 million in them.
Come on now.
Yeah, that's blatant. Let's just go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
Even if it was a black teller, I think the teller that worked with Boosie was white though. But regardless, that's
don't matter,
blatant
man.
racism.
Come on, man. Come
Here
on
go
now.
Boosie. Maybe I should have came in there iced out. I don't think you could have came in there with nothing. Cause look at Ron. He didn't come in there with nothing. He still got the same treatment that you pretty much gotten. So what do? Now we can't even go to the bank and take out our own money.
Gwen put some in the chat room. She says she used to work for him and it's not a good bank. The policy is horrible. So that's coming from someone that used to work
That
for
worked
him.
there. Good looking out, Gwen. Yeah. Like I said, we used to bank. My company used to work there.
I used
and
to
I used
bank
to
a
ask my principal. I used to ask my president of my company, can we change banks?
I used to bank at Bank of
Please.
America. I hated Bank of America.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I really did. I hated Bank of America.
Yeah.
They would charge you for every little thing. I hated that shit.
Every little nickel and dime, deposit, transfer, fee for this, fee for that. And
Yeah.
I know banks are in the process or in the mindset of making money as well.
Right.
But if I've been your long life customer, I should get some type of segue or some
agree.
type of incentive. Be like, you know what? She's been here for a while. Let's not charge her every time she make a deposit. Or let's not charge her every time she want to upgrade her debit card. Or let's not charge her, just crazy fees. Just crazy fees. So I don't know the ramifications. I don't know if Ryan Coogler is going to do anything about this, but I know Boosie got that lady card.
Right.
And he said he was going to be making some phone calls.
Hey,
So hopefully she won't lose her job. I don't
Well-
know, but at this instant, what do you do? Do you want her to lose her job? Do you want her to apologize? What do you do?
well, it's kind of a double-edged sword right there. So, yeah.
So let's go to today's topic.
And today's topic is We All We Got. Now,
Now explain to the people what you mean when you came up with this topic.
well, whenever I came up with this topic, number one, I was watching New Jack City. And G Money, the character that Alan Payne plays, him and Nino Brown, which is played by Wesley Snipes, were on the rooftop and they were talking, and when he said, forget all this money, forget these women, forget all of this, let it just be me and you, we all we got. And then at the end of that line, he said, "And I'm my brother's keeper." And on top of that, with everything that's going on in the media, and I'm going to go ahead and put it up here. This right here, I'm getting ready to put it up here. It'll change in just a second. This young lady right here. It'll pop up in just a second. This young lady right here.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful young lady.
R.I.P.
Real pretty.
R.I.P. Mm-hmm.
When I heard that the people that shot her,
Mm-hmm.
that shot her dead while she was laying down in the bed, when I heard about that, and I heard that a wall is going to get more justice than she did,
Yep.
that made me come up with this subject.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We all we got.
Yeah.
Because if you think about that for a second, nobody has protested more for this young lady than black people.
Oh yeah.
And I tell people this all the damn time, and I continue to say this. There is no black-brown coalition. There never has been. There is no minority coalition. There never has been. All these other groups are looking out for themselves, plain and simple, until the shit hits the fan and they come to black people for help. And being that we're such a benevolent people, we want to help everybody get on top.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes down for us to get some help, nobody's to be found.
Nobody's around.
Now, Dr. John Henrik Clarke, the master teacher, one of my idols, he said this: black people as a whole, we have no friends. If you want a friend, look in the mirror. That's your friend right there. So that's why I came up with this subject, is because of this young lady right here on your screen. That's the reason why I came up with this subject. Because this young lady has still gotten no justice. Now that cop is being indicted for the people that he could have killed. Not for the person he did kill, but for the people that he could have killed. And she's not the only case either.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of cases. This young man right here, Tamir Rice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm just going to go ahead and put this out here. All you people that voted for Joe Biden, get on his ass about closing this damn case and not wanting this case opened again. Because he sealed the case open. He sealed the case shut.
Yeah.
He sealed the case shut. And not Donald Trump, Joe Biden. And I got to give this young man's mama all kinds of props. Because she's on it. She ain't going to shut up. That sister's not going to shut up until her son gets some justice. And I ain't mad at her. That's Tamir Rice.
I don't know who you talking about.
Tamir Rice's mama.
It's my I know what's her name? Oh, is she the one who got the platform trying to get a bill passed and all that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know Biden had closed that case.
Yeah, he closed that case.
Oh,
He closed. Oh
that.
yeah, he closed it. He said
Oh,
no. He closed that case. It's never to be opened again.
I hadn't heard that.
Oh yeah, look that up. Look that up. So that one got to me, and this one right here, Mr. Philando Castile. The cops that shot him still haven't been brought to justice.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There have been protests all over the place for this brother. He was shot in front of his damn child.
But even if we do say we're all we got, what can we do? Aren't we following the chain of command? We do the protests and we go out and march. We do the voting. We go out and do the petitions and try to get bills signed.
Oh wait,
but nothing is still in our favor. So what do we do?
Baby, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. I got some more people up here. This brother right here. This one here close to home because it happened in Tulsa. Terrence Crutcher.
Oh yeah.
Now,
I remember you talking about him. Yeah.
Now, when this brother was gunned down, no sooner than I heard that story, I went straight to my Facebook page. I said to everybody out there, I said, everybody that's on my Facebook page, I said, for everybody out there that has something about Colin Kaepernick taking a knee during the national anthem, I want y'all to have the same exact energy for what happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I heard crickets. Nobody said a word. Now, the main people that had something to say about Colin Kaepernick taking the knee, I'm going to put their names out there. A classmate of mine named Chico Sullivan. Another classmate of mine, Randy Wilson. A schoolmate of mine who was on our show, Roxanne Balagbagan. Well, she's Roxanne Clark now. Shane Powell. All those guys. They had all kinds of smoke for my man Colin Kaepernick, but they didn't have any smoke for that woman that shot this man down dead in the street. Guess what? She's still a cop.
In Oklahoma? Or did she go to another?
She went to another district.
Yeah. They just transferring from around.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Now, this brother right here, this young man right here, the most popular one, Trayvon Martin.
Oh, yeah.
Where's him at? Last time I checked, he wasn't in jail.
He probably out somewhere keeping up some ruckus somewhere.
Of course. That's what he does. That's what he does. Now, let's go back. Let's go way back. You'll see his picture pop up in a minute. I want you to say his name. Hold up. It'll pop up in just a second.
Oh.
What's his name, baby?
Emmett Till.
What happened to him?
Oh, my God. A catastrophe that never should have happened. Innocent. Just per the innocent, and was lied on the whole entire time.
What happened to the people that killed him?
Not a thing. They damn near went to their deathbed, and on their deathbed made a confession, especially the lady. The lady did. But then the men, her husband, I think it's her brother or brother-in-law or something.
Her brother and her boyfriend at the time.
They admit it. They admitted they did it. But nothing has come about it. Nothing has. And I know his mom was trying to get a bill finally done before she passed. Mm-hmm. And I think it just passed not too long. I think like a couple of months ago I read that. That it just, many moons ago that this case happened. It just took place after that woman confessed on her deathbed that he didn't do it.
This case right here is a spark that started the civil rights movement. Mm-hmm. This one right here, the death of Emmett Till.
Oh yeah. I have heard about it, but then they recently showed it on TV not too long ago. I looked at it again, and just to see it again, just to see what his mother endured and what she went through.
I'm just going to say this.
Oh, my God.
I'm just going to say this real quick. Mm-hmm. That mother, my hat goes off to her. Mm-hmm. She wanted an open casket at his funeral. She wanted them to see what they did to her child. Mm-hmm. And when I remember when I first saw that picture, it was in this book, and it was in these books that I used to have. My mother told you about these books. I used to read them to her. The pictorial history, the Ebony Pictorial History of Black America. Mm-hmm. I first saw it in that book. And I remember when I was little, I asked my mom what happened to him. She said, read the story. I read the story. And to see his face, what they did to that young man, that brought chills down my spine when I was a little child. Mm-hmm. So
that was just utter hate.
That's all it was. Evil. No, it was evil.
Grown
men beating up he was what, 13, 14?
Child.
He's what, 13, 14?
13 years old. That's hate. You weren't even there. So you mean tell me you gonna believe everything she say? You weren't even there. No.
And here's another one that got to be, because his killers haven't been brought to justice too. Another person from way back. Mr. Medgar Evers, civil rights leader. Mm-hmm. He was gunned down in his driveway, and people know who did it. Told him who did it, and they never arrested him. They never arrested those people. And his killers they're probably dead by now, but still, they were never brought to justice. They were never brought to justice. But then again, wait till you see this next one pop up, babe. Wait till you see it. It'll pop up in just a second because it's kind of a delay over here on this screen. This fool right here, walking down the street, loaded AR-15. Police passed right by him. Cause I saw the video when this was going on. Police passed right by him, didn't stop him, didn't ask any questions, nothing.
They circled back and offered him some water.
Yeah, they sure did, didn't they?
And right to this day, today, what's today? March 13th.
It's March 13th.
2022 at 8:21 p.m. He's probably chilling at his house somewhere.
Nothing's happened to him.
Nothing happened to him.
So this is why I say
nothing.
This is why I say, black family, we all we got. We all we got. That's all there is to it. There's no ifs, ands, buts, or maybes about it.
But how does this keep? And all like Emmett Till, that happened in what, the 60s, 70s?
That happened in the late 50s, early 60s.
And then here we are, even now, like the homeless man we talking about that had mental illness, they killed him because he was jaywalking.
Right.
It's like that little hamster in the wheel. What do we do? If we all we got,
well,
what do we do?
Well, to be honest with you, I think that I'm not gonna say inside. I'm not trying to incite a riot or anything like that. That's the one thing I'm not trying to do. But all of the marching and the praying and the voting is not doing us any good. We've been doing that
for years.
We've been doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, and the elected officials that we put in office to try to make some changes ain't doing jack shit.
Shout out to Kamala Harris.
Exactly. She already said what she was going to do. Nothing. And I kept telling people she's not who she says she is. I keep telling folks that, but nobody wants to listen to me. Oh, she's black. No, she's not. She didn't start claiming black until she started running for president. But that's another subject for another show.
They prey on us like we some old downtrodden people. Like
Well,
we to be like, whoa.
Well, the thing of it is, what we need to start doing, and this is just, and I've always said this too, and we'd said this on previous shows. What we need to do is start holding our elected officials accountable and put their feet to the fire so they can get some shit done.
But honestly, sweet pea, we did that, and look what happened. Trump talking about it was bogus, it was rigged. We got out there, we tried to vote for the best candidate that was running, and it came back that it was
Bamboozled.
Yeah.
Yeah. For all of you who voted, I tried to tell you. But I hate to be an I told you so, but guess what? I told you. So
I don't know. I don't know. It's just so much going on, and it just seemed like you're right. Like, I have heard different commentators and different political leaders and political activists saying that we should band together, the black and brown brothers and sisters should band together. But will that really be the answer?
I'm not going to say that a coalition, because, Malcolm X said this on several occasions. He said before there can be any black-white unity or any black-brown unity, the first there has to be some black unity. Okay, so for now, I'm not worried about the whole black-brown thing. I'm worried about the black thing. Black people need to come together on one accord. We don't give it, because Malcolm has said this on several occasions. He said we don't care about your religious background, your political affiliation, your sexual orientation. We don't care nothing about that. You have one thing in common: your black skin. That's it. That's right. So screw all that other stuff. That doesn't mean anything. I mean, all the other stuff I just mentioned, that doesn't mean nothing. What we need to do is come together on one accord, because we all have the same enemy: white supremacy. And so, again, before we can have any black-brown unity, we need to have some black unity. That's the first thing we need to do. And the second thing we need to do as a people is get all the coons and the bed winches and the sellouts out of the paint. Because they're going to bring us down.
Up, a lot of them coming out the woodworks.
They are coming out the woodworks.
People, you will be surprised. Be like, oh no.
Yep. Exactly. See, the thing of it is, and I have had this debate with several people from the African diaspora. See, whenever it comes to us, we call our coons out. We'll call our coons out in a minute. We'll call a Jesse Lee Peterson out in a minute. We'll call a Larry Elder out in a minute. We'll call a Candace Owens out in a minute. We'll call a Tommy Sotomayor out in a minute. We don't care. They coons. There go the coons right there. You see them, you want to listen to them, it's completely up to you, but they have no idea what they're talking about.
But they be on TV
every single day.
Pushing their agenda.
Exactly. You said it. You said exactly right. So we need to get them out the way, because let's go back to history real quick. During the Haitian Revolution, the first thing that I think was Mackendall. The first thing Mackendall did was they got together in the swamps of Haiti, and they said, okay, this is what we're going to do. Everybody that's against us, we're going to get them out the paint. So what they ended up doing was getting rid of all the people that they knew were sympathetic towards the French. And so that's why the Haitian Revolution was so successful and effective, because they got all the coons and stuff out. And that's what we need to do. We need to get all the coons out of here first, because they're going to be detrimental to our development.
And
So
how do we do that? We elected them in, so how we
we
elect them out?
we gotta weed them out. Plain and simple, we just gotta weed them out. Because I can pretty much guarantee you, Allen West ain't got our backs. And we already know that.
Well, he won his his little race that he had down here.
What's that?
He
black?
lost.
What's that? Black Supreme Court justice name? The one that's been in there for a while.
Oh,
Clarence Thomas.
Clarence Thomas.
Yeah, Clarence Thomas. We know he ain't got our back. Cause everything the black people tried to get done, he vetoed it. Nope. Boom.
Well, the new lady that Biden just voted in, what do you think?
We got to see where her loyalty's like. I think she's married to a white man. We gotta see where her loyalties lie. You know, that plain and simple. I mean, it's kind of too early to tell right now. We just gotta see where her loyalties lie.
Well, how much longer do we have to wait?
I don't know. As long as we have to take, as long as it takes, babe. That's all I got to say about that.
It's been centuries, love.
I agree. I agree. I agree.
Year,
I agree.
year,
I agree. But we have to
day
help
after
ourselves
day.
because we can't ask nobody else to help us. We got to help ourselves, plain and simple.
Wow.
I mean, I know it's a bitter pill to swallow, but it's the truth.
Yeah, you're right. But, and every time we try to do things, like I said, I always bring this up because I thought it was such a fascinating story. What is it called in Oklahoma? Green Day? When they tried to bank themselves, had their own business, build their own community.
In the Greenwood District.
Greenwood District. We tried. We tried to pull ourselves by our bootstraps.
We did.
We
We
tried
didn't
to have
try, we
all we
did.
got. You know, we did that. We were successful at it.
Yeah.
But then they came in there and either stole it from it, took it from it, burnt it down,
They bombed that place to the ground.
put us right back at square one.
They bombed that place to the ground. That's the first and only time that bombs are ever dropped on American soil.
Wow.
So again, and that's not the only race riot that happened in Oklahoma either. A lot of people don't know about the one that happened in Idabel. We'll talk about that one later. But to be honest with you, with the whole Tulsa situation, even though it got burned to the ground and bombed down to the ground, we can build it better and stronger if we really wanted to, because we have the means and the resources to do it.
That's what you and I was talking about, the situation that happened with Boosie and
Right.
why can't we, I mean, we have some very successful people,
Very much so.
black people,
Right.
African American, whatever you want to call yourself.
Right.
Why don't we just get together and do our own banks
We
and
can.
hospitals and grocery stores and Foot Lockers? Why can't we just do it ourselves?
We can.
What's the problem?
I mean, look at us. We got our little thing going on. We're gonna
I
build
did,
it up.
and I said that too. I said if I had the means right now, I would open me up a bank.
Yeah.
I really would.
Yeah.
I mean, 'cause you shouldn't have to go to the bank and be penalized for taking out your own money.
It's your money.
That's crazy. No.
Nah, I agree with you on that. It should be easy to do that, but you know, we'll have to. There's always going to be that one person or people that's going to have an issue with it.
Who was it you told me that was talking about that? The rapper?
Killer Mike.
Killer Mike. I wonder how far he got with that discussion.
I don't know. I know that there is and this is not a credit union. It's a national bank. I know there's a black bank in California. I forgot the name of that bank that quick.
It's one here, but it's for like churches.
That's a credit union, I think. If I made a
it's for
mistake, I think it's a credit
churches,
union.
yeah.
But still.
Yeah.
So
You know, it's this old saying. I remember that Dick Gregory and it's a lot of things Dick Gregory said that I agree with, and there's a lot of things he said that I did not agree with.
right.
But it's one that I remember him saying, I don't know why America always thinks they can run all around the world, forcing people to take their way of governance at the barrel of a gun.
Right.
When you got something really good, you don't have to force it on people. They will steal it. So even if we do come up with these good ideas, try to branch out and get our own going, you don't come in there and shut it down
Yep.
or steal it and make it their own.
That's exactly what's been going
So
on.
do we continue to keep trying though? They'll be like, okay, they took that one, let's try over here.
Think about
You
this.
know, we
Think
gonna get
about this.
tired.
Think about this.
Mm-hmm.
Think about this right here. The modern day lottery, as we know it, was originated and started by black people when they started running the numbers.
The number.
Now, granted, the
pretty
numbers were
much.
illegal.
Yeah.
Granted, they were illegal
Yeah.
because it was illegal because it wasn't regulated by the government. They
Right.
weren't getting a piece
They weren't
of
getting
it.
a piece of it. That's
Right.
why it was
That's
illegal.
why it was illegal.
Yeah.
But and that's just for a little civics lesson, ladies and gentlemen. If you're out there listening, whenever something is declared illegal by the U.S. government, that usually means they're not getting a piece of that money.
Right, they're not getting a part
Case in
of it.
point, selling weed.
Yeah.
Now that weed is legal, they're getting a piece of
They're
it.
getting a piece of it.
So now it's not legal. It's
It
not
don't- it
illegal
don't matter
anymore.
now. And so that's the reverse back to this. So
Right.
now that it's legal, shouldn't they let my cousin Ray Ray out of jail? 'Cause that's what he in jail for, selling weed.
They should.
You know? So
They
it's like
should.
a catch-22.
They
It's legal
should.
now, so why he still locked up?
They should.
So it's like, I don't know.
They should let them out. I mean, I have no problems with that. I would have any issues with somebody that was caught selling weed if they're in jail. By all means, let them out.
And somebody need to look at this. This is a side note. You speaking of the lotto, when them big jackpots come
Yeah.
and them people win, why does the government get almost half in taxes? That's illegal.
Let me tell you something. And I told you this before. I had a class in college. It was a business class, a business ethics class. They asked us to write a report on how governments make their money. I chose capitalism. Now, in my paper, and I got an A on it, I said capitalism is a system of pimps and hoes. Who are the pimps? The government are the pimps. Who are the hoes? The American citizens.
American people, yeah.
Give up that money, ho. You pay you pay the government every single time you go out and you get a paycheck. You get a paycheck, the government gets a piece of it. You pay taxes at the end of the year. If you owe taxes, you got to pay them a big old chunk of money at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Give up that money, ho.
That's why I said this time of year, it don't excite me because I always owe.
Yeah, me too.
I always owe.
Me
I'm
too.
like, come on.
Me too. So,
Yeah, you
like I
right.
said, it's a system of pimps and hoes.
You're right.
Give up that money, ho. Give up that money.
That's why I said I know you and I have this. We always have deep discussions
Yes,
anyway.
we do. Yes, we do.
And I love when we talk, especially like when we having dinner. We don't have a TV on, and nothing, just be
Oh,
talking.
yeah, we just talk.
But I remember the other day I was telling you, I don't think I can be a prostitute. I don't think I can be a prostitute because I'm going out there doing God knows what with God knows who, and I got a company to give you my money.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like that by the government. I was
That's
looking
exactly what's going on.
Side note, I was looking at my cell phone bill the other day.
Yeah.
Why am I getting charged taxes and fees and then a searcher? Who is searcher? Who is that?
Good question.
See what I mean? It's always nickel and diamond.
Yeah.
And then when you call in, the agents can't explain to you.
No, they
and
can't.
then the other one got on the phone had the nerve to tell me because I have my phone, my address is for one location,
Right.
and I bought my phone in a girl stop. That's the best exclamation you can give me. Well, that's what I said. You mean to tell me because I bought my phone in Frisco and I live in Lancaster, you going to charge me taxes for that? You know how long I've had this phone?
A long time.
Exactly. My phone don't even ring half the time.
Sure don't.
And I'm still paying fees to you for a phone that don't ring. Come on. Y'all, please just give us some type of justice. We just ask for a little justice.
Oh, man.
Just a little justice. Now, bread is $4 a loaf. Milk is $5 a gallon.
Right.
Gas is high as a giraffe ass. What do we do? Y'all not paying us no more in our paychecks, but you taking more. What kind of democracy is that?
Again,
Might as well
it's
go live in a third
capitalism.
world country.
Again, it's capitalism. That's capitalism for you, man. It's a system of pimps and hoes. It's a system of pimps and hoes.
I'm tired of being, because I feel like I feel like in my professional life, I don't think I can be a prostitute, but in my livelihood, I feel like one. I'm out here working, but I'm just giving all my money away to other people,
And let me-
TXU,
and let me-
Spectrum, Rent. Oh my God.
And let me reiterate that, y'all. I'm pretty sure she couldn't be a hoe either, because as her husband, I refuse to let somebody else have some of that. And no, that's mine. That's mine, y'all. I don't like to share.
You're being greedy now.
Yes, I am.
But now you ain't nothing to worry about. Like I said, I just couldn't even see that. And that's how it feels like you try to go out there, you do the right thing, you stand on the straight and narrow, you try to do nothing illegal.
Right.
But it's like you just barely getting by.
You know what?
Barely getting by.
You know what, babe? That's a subject for another show.
That's true.
We'll talk about that on
That's true.
another show. Cause
But-
that's a really good topic.
But then when you
That's a
go
good
through and
topic.
say, we all we got, where we
Right.
going?
That's a good question. I mean, there's not an easy answer to that. It really isn't.
That's a
I mean-
lifelong question right there.
It really is. I mean, being us as foundational Black Americans, we have always been. It's always been us. It's always been us and nobody else. Everybody else is like, they. It's always been us. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. It's always been us. Even during the civil rights movement, it was always us. Now you had a few people that might come in, scattered here and there around the room, but there were very few and far between. You can count them out on one hand. So,
what happened to that?
To that unity that black people had.
What happened to that village we used to have?
Well,
because like I said, I can get in trouble what we call uptown.
Yep.
Because I was raised in the country.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I made it from uptown back to the country, I done got spoken to like I was crazy. I done got a spanking. I done got, you gonna get it when you get home. And then when I get home, I get it again.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we need to do that, but that just shows that we care about each other.
Back then, black people were more on code. Okay? So if you ever notice, whenever white folks get in trouble, they get on code.
They do.
They get on one accord.
They take care of one
They
another.
don't give a damn what your religious affiliation is or whatever. They get on code.
That's right.
I can give them props on that. Black people are starting now to get on code. I mean, you got a few here and there around the room that don't want to get on code.
I just say, are we? Are we really?
There's a few that don't want to get on code, but for the most part, there's a lot of us that are on code.
But is it sincere? Is it genuine, or is it just to see how far we can get? What we can get out of it?
That's a good question. It depends on the black person.
Yeah.
It depends on the black person, because there are some black people out there that are just down for the cause.
Right.
And then again, you got some out there that's just fly by night trying to see if they can get out of it.
Well, they say ride this wheel until the wheels fall
There you
off.
ride until it comes off.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to continue to try to do as much as I can. Like I said, I love doing this show to inform people what's going on. I love presenting the questions like the show topic, we all we got. But if someone can answer that question for me, to tell me or show me what can we do to help one another, I'm open.
And on that note, I'm open the phone lines. So the phone lines are open. And the number's on the screen. In case you can't see the screen, it's 469-638-3459. Give us a buzz, and we'll talk about it.
Absolutely.
So, but anyway, I agree with you. The code is there. I mean, we don't really need a leader per se, because the code is the leader.
Everybody we try to lead is something.
They're questionable.
To them, so yeah.
Either that or they're questionable.
Right.
They either take them out of there or they're questionable.
Something from their past come out. They got a baby mom over here, or
which that's
deal
nobody's
some drugs
business.
over here. And somebody will always try to go in their past and bring up something negative.
Oh yeah.
Even though at this point now they're doing some positive and some good work.
Oh no
but
doubt.
Somebody always bring up something to bring down their character.
Oh yeah, there's always that one that's going to try to destroy the character. But I mean, I can honestly tell you, man, they tried but didn't work. With Brother Minister Louis Farrakhan, they had tried their best to get this man out the paint, and he's still around.
Yeah.
He is still around. He did. I don't know if you saw it or not. Did you see his Savior's Day speech, the Swan song?
After you told me about it, I looked at
it. Yeah. That brother is. He said, "I ain't going nowhere." He told you flat out, "I ain't going nowhere."
Very deep. And see, if he has that perspective, and he's an elder. He's what, 60s and 70s?
No, he's in his 80s.
80s, really?
Yeah, he's in his 80s.
We don't have nobody younger than that.
Nah.
That can still have that strong conviction that he has.
Think about this.
And you just say and be like,
think about this.
It is what it is.
Well, think about this, babe. Malcolm was killed in his 30s.
Yeah, 39, yeah.
Martin was killed in his 30s.
39, yeah.
So, with that said, and Fred Hampton was killed, he was just 21.
Yeah, he was 21, yeah. That was a very good movie, too.
Yeah, it was. I mean, a lot of people know who Fred Hampton was. Well, shit, I did, but, I'm a historian. But anyway, and think about this. All the leaders of the Black Panthers, they were in their 20s when they got put in jail or exiled.
And I think that's part of why we don't have too many now, because they don't want to end up losing their lives.
That's exactly it.
And hurting their families. And what was the word? We don't have any. Do we have any martyrs this day and age?
No.
Should we?
We should have it. We should have several. But we don't. We don't have any.
They say so much, and then all of a sudden they just die out. I haven't heard from Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson sick.
Messy Jesse ain't gonna help nobody out.
And the only time I heard from Perm man, what's his name?
Al
Sharpton. I mean, I love to see him when things happen to men getting shot or women getting shot, things like that. But before, I mean, I do listen to his podcast and stuff like that, but I don't ever hear his name just ringing out like I used to.
That's because he's more or less looking for a job from the Democrats. That's pretty much what all of them are looking for. They're looking for a job.
Wow.
And from the Democrats, and that's why I call them Democratic shields. If you notice, I call people like Michael Eric Dyson Democratic shields. About the only person that really is a Democratic shield, in my personal opinion, is Dr. Cornel West. I haven't seen anything different from him.
You say that about my girl too. And that kind of when we go back and forth.
Stacey Abrams. Like I said, no disrespect to Stacey Abrams. I know you love Stacey Abrams, but she's pretty much a Democratic shield, man, because the Democrats told her to get the niggas out the vote, and she did just that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good thing, but I don't think she should be penalized for that either.
I'm not saying penalize her for it. I'm just saying, man, she did what her white paymasters told her to do.
Oh my God! See, I don't look at it like that.
She did. I mean, call it what it is.
Like, she's been doing this for over 10 years, though.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a long time to keep trying to do something for just one person.
Well, yeah.
I think she did it genuinely because that's what she wants and that's what she loves to do.
Hey, it is what it is.
I
I call it like I see it. You know, I mean, like I said, baby, we ain't got to agree on everything.
I know. That's what we go back and forth on. So, but yeah, that's we all we got.
We all we got, baby.
Well, okay, let me. Here I am again. Hi, devil's advocate. Why don't we start holding these households accountable? Because we say church starts at home, spread abroad.
I agree with you on that 100%.
Why can't we just start at home?
Shit.
Why can't we make sure our young children, hell with me, my nieces, nephews, whoever, they know where we come from. We know the foundation that we have,
right,
and continue to build upon that foundation.
Make
it stronger and stronger.
You gotta keep telling them that. You gotta drill that into their heads. I mean, let's use me for an example. You know who my stepfather is.
Right. Shout out to Mr. Jerry. Pro. Yeah.
And you saw firsthand. That's where I get a lot of my ideologies from.
Oh, yeah.
You saw that firsthand.
Oh, yeah.
So, and he instilled that in me from day one.
Mm-hmm.
From me listening to the last Poets and Girl Scout Heron, and me reading all those books and stuff like that. And it just stuck with me. Now, when I had my stepchildren, I passed that along to them, so they could go ahead and do what they got to do. Now it's up to them to keep that ball rolling. I mean, it's all about, you know. Let me see who it is. It's all about trying to. It's all about being consistent. That's what I'm trying to say. It's all about being consistent. You gotta be consistent with that kind of teaching, because if you're not consistent with it, it's not going to work.
I think they try to, but they get so despondent when they keep trying, and people putting dirt on your name, slander your name, making threats, death threats. I probably get tired too. I'd be like, you know what? Do I have to lose my life because I want to see a change to come? That's a true song, that Sam Cooke song.
I agree.
That's a very true song.
Yeah, I love this song. It's one of my favorite Sam Cooke songs. I love Sam Cooke. And you're absolutely right. I mean, we don't have anybody that's willing to make that ultimate sacrifice. That's the problem. Nobody's willing to make that sacrifice. It's all about, well, I'll do it just a little bit. Number one, I want to get paid for it, which we already know you're not going to.
Not much.
And number two, they're gonna put a big old bullseye on your back. And if you blow your nose in the McDonald's, it's gonna be all over the news, and people gonna look at you stupid.
Right.
So that's part of the problem. They don't want to. They want the glory that they get from it, but they don't want to put the work in to get it. That's the problem. Because it's hard work. It really is. It's very hard work.
I can only imagine. Yeah. To take upon your shoulder, your livelihood, your family, if you have a family, your family livelihood, and then to get mocked and
oh yeah,
and threatened and shot down on every road you try to take. Nope, close the door. Nope.
I mean, think about this. We're taking a chance by doing this show.
True.
So, you know, I don't really care. I mean, you know, hey, you can try to dig up some dirt on me if you want to. What you gonna do? Say I turned in a library card, a library book late when I was 13 years old, which I did. But
I don't care. I wish somebody would. Be like, that's all you got. That's all you gotta say.
That's exactly what I would say. Come on, you can do better than that, can't you?
But they do try. People will try to dig up every and anything on you. And what makes it so bad, I'm just going to put out there, is some of your own people.
I agree.
And they sell it to the others for that little $10,000 payout.
For that little pat on the head. That's all it was. They put the little pat on the head by White Daddy. That's exactly what they get. It's a pat on the head. There you go, boy. Good one. Get that nigger. Give me all the dirt you got on him.
Well, no calls today?
No calls today, baby. I guess we can go ahead and wrap the show up then.
Well, it was a good show. I love talking about, again, like I said, if any of the listeners are listening, if you want to talk about this topic a little more, please do, because I would love to hear
we
your
can definitely have a part
perspectives
two.
on We All We Got. Now that we say we all we got, what do we do to sustain and maintain?
Yeah.
That's what I would love to know.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it, man. Because I would love to hear somebody's input on that. Where do we go from here?
Because we have different ones to come along every year. For lack of a better word, we think they're going to save us.
Yep. And they don't.
But they don't.
They never do.
Either they turn another, turn another cheek, or get lost in the shuffle.
Yep.
They get frustrated, buy out.
Yep.
So what can we do to continue to make it sustainable?
Again, there are no easy answers. I've always said that. I mean, because if that was an easy
That's
answer.
a realistic one, though. Not an easy, but what's realistic?
A realistic answer. Again,
answer.
like I said before, babe, we got to get on code. We have to get on code. That's just it right there. Once we get on code, everything else will fall into place.
Well, a lot of us don't look at it. A lot of us don't even look at Melanated Thought as the same thing. A lot of us don't look at a Foundation of Black Americans. They think, what is that?
Right.
Now, that's not me. You know, a lot of us don't even recognize the same issues within our own little culture.
And I love Smokey Robinson when he said, when he said what he said, man. I love Smokey Robinson anyway. We both grew up on Smokey Robinson's music.
Every Saturday morning.
Exactly. But, like I said.
But that make you think, though, as old as that man is, for him to say that.
Come on now.
That's very profound.
That's very profound, man. An
very
elder
profound.
is saying that. So, and I loved every minute of it. I loved it. He said, I'm black. I'm not an African American. I'm black.
I'm black.
As light as Smokey is, with gray eyes. Could pass for white easy if you wanted to.
But it felt so good to hear him
I
say
agree with
that,
you.
though,
I agree with you on that, man. Yeah, that's beautiful. That was beautiful. I loved it. But yeah, we'll get back on this subject eventually.
All right.
Yeah, probably in the next couple of weeks or so.
Good topic.
But yeah, I thought it was a really good topic. I wish some of our regulars would have called in and gave us their input.
I said maybe we just should think we may change the time again. Maybe it's a little late.
It probably is. Well, we'll see about changing the time. If it's too late, y'all, hit me up on the email. melanatedthought@earthlink.net. And
we haven't heard from Les in a while.
Because we haven't heard from our regulars in a while,
and
man.
I think they're an hour ahead of us.
Yeah. If we gotta change the time, we can. I mean, I don't mind changing the time. We'll just make it earlier like we did before.
Right.
And hopefully we'll get a couple more folks out there. And again, we're gonna start I have to go ahead and get started and stop bullshitting and get started on the advertising campaign so we can get some more folks out there. And I'll start promoting the show a whole lot heavier. And get the cards passed out and get some flyers passed out. And,
right, me too, yeah.
And all that good stuff. And get some folks out there to listen to us because we got some good stuff going on, y'all.
Absolutely. And as always, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button.
Hit the like, subscribe.
Tell a friend. Oh, yeah. It's nothing but positive vibes and melanated thoughts over here.
That's it, man.
Nothing negative.
That is it.
Not just try to show you what's going on in the world so we can all come together as one.
Exactly, man. That's always what we're all about. It's all about each one teach one. Elijah Muhammad said that. Speaking of the Nation of Islam, Elijah Muhammad said that each one teach one.
Absolutely.
I mean, despite his little discrepancies and whatnot, Brother Elijah had some pretty good points, man. So don't knock him. I guess that's it, babe.
All right.
So
get to these beans.
Oh yeah, we got some food, man. I'm telling y'all, man. I started to post that picture up that she cooked, man. I'm telling you, she put her foot in them damn beans, y'all.
Shout out to my friend Karen Bellington from Southwestern Kitchen, my bestie from college. She gave me an Instant Pot for my birthday this year. I cooked some oxtails in it.
They were good.
The bomb.
They were good.
And now I just did my first batch of pinto bean.
Oh man, she got this whole apartment. She got this whole spot stinking with them pinto beans, y'all. Right now, I'm telling you.
Let's go ahead to come get me some cornbread and eat.
Yeah, cause my stomach growling, y'all.
But again, like you said, good. Subscribe, hit the notification button, tell a friend, and we'll try to maybe think about changing the time to get y'all on.
I think we will.
And give y'all perspective as well.
I think we will.
Love to hear y'all perspective.
I think we might do it at 4 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
you know, we'll think about it.
Yeah.
We'll think about it. So that way everybody can have a chance to call in and whatnot. Because I know people have stuff to do during that time. So
get ready for work the next day.
Well, yeah, I understand that because I know I gotta get up and go to work. Unfortunately, yeah. My wife get to stay home and work.
All right. Yeah, work. Yeah. All right, guys. So. We're out.
Well, we'll do this again, y'all. We'll do this very same subject again. So, but in the meantime, I'm Reggie O.
And I am Mimi the Lady.
And we out.
Bye.